Welcome back. Are you thinking about starting your own business or leaving your corporate job to go do your own thing? I've both worked for other companies and worked for myself. And I've been working for myself since 2001. So that's 23 years. Prior to that, I worked for Goldman Sachs. And then prior to that, a small investor relations company called OLC Corporation. And I wanted to share my experience with you and explore the pros and cons if you're thinking about starting your own business or exploring your own path. And I acknowledge in theory most people think that working for themselves is ideal. You get to be your own boss, you get to make your own company in your own vision. But in all honesty, not everyone is cut out for it. And it's also no reflection of whether you're smart or savvy when it comes to being able to work for your own company and creating your own path. After doing this for 23 years, I know that what it actually comes down to is your core values and how you want to live your life. Do you relish stability and security? I mean, I know, of course, everyone does, but what is your tolerance for instability and unpredictability when it comes to the money you make every month? How do you rank stability against being your own boss? When I was married, I had a sister in law who worked as a legal assistant for a law firm. And she acknowledged and was fully aware that she much preferred the stability of a steady paycheck rather than go out on her own. She liked knowing how much she was making every month, how that compared to what uh, expenses she had every month, and she enjoyed the kind of lifestyle she was living. So for her, not having that steady paycheck would wreak massive mental stress for her. And that's the key. What is it that you can tolerate? Is the freedom of having your own company more valuable than having instability in your life? So let's talk about the benefits of working for someone else or even a large corporation. One, you get to go in, do your job, and leave. If the place burns down, sure, it would suck not to have your job, but it's really not on you to rebuild. If the revenues for the company that year are not enough to pay the rent every month, again, not your personal responsibility to find a way to pay the rent, nor anyone else that works at that company. So that's one. You get to just go in and do your job and walk away. I mean, I know a lot of people still take their jobs very seriously, but when it comes down to the basics, you can just walk away and not stress about it. Two, you have a general idea of what you need to do in your job to succeed, to move forward. There's a expectation or kind of a written path of how you make your upward steps in a company. And it's probably pretty similar for other companies in that same industry. In addition, your boss expresses what they expect from you. I need you to do this, this, and this, deal with this many clients, whatever it is. You have a delineated list of responsibilities and how to move up in that company. Number three, you also have potential mentors and resources when working for someone else or a company. Your boss could be a mentor. There might be other mentors you can seek out at the company. Oftentimes at larger companies, the HR might have resources that you can turn to help you, whether it be in the career or your life. The company might also fund education for you. So that's another benefit of working for someone else. Four, let's talk vacations. So remember, I know we're in America, and even though people are supposed to go on vacation, they don't always take their vacations. And when they're on vacations, they still answer emails because they feel like they're expected to. But again, coming down to the basics, that's not written in your job description that you have to not take a vacation when on vacation. So as an employee to another company, you can go take a vacation and be on vacation. And it's, again, on you whether you actually follow through on that, but you really do have that choice that when you're given a vacation at a corporate job, you take a vacation and don't have to worry about other things. And then the last major one, you don't need to come up with the capital to start your company, to start the company, not your company. And you don't have to theoretically worry about the investors or the people who put money into the company that you work for. So those are the benefits, the big ones that I wrote down for working for somebody else. And let's compare those same benefits to if you were working for yourself. Starting with number one, about going into your job and then walking out at the end of the day. When it's your company, whether it be a one-person company or a five-person company, you cannot just go to work and leave without a worry. Your company is your life. Whether you don't get something done, it still requires you to take care of it. Most small business owners work long hours, especially in the growth phase. So working for yourself, you don't just get to go in and leave it behind you when you walk out the work door. Two, while at a corporate company, you have a general idea of what's expected of you, the path to succeed. When you're running your own company, you have more than one job. If you're an accountant and you start an accounting firm, you don't just do accounting. You have to worry about paying the rent for the office. The other accountants, are they doing a good job? Your customer service, are the customers satisfied? Your marketing, you are doing many jobs. You can't just walk out the door. And you also are really don't have a path written out for you of how to make this company successful. Yes, of course, making more money is what makes a company successful, but it's not like there's a blueprint as to how to do that. Three, while at a larger corporation or working for someone else, you have potential mentors around you and resources. The growth and rise of your company depend on so many factors. First of all, sorry, I step back, the mentors. You working for yourself have to search out your own mentors or even hire a business or career coach. You might have left a larger company to go start your own business, and you're going to have to figure out who you want your mentors to be. It's just more work finding resources to help you succeed. Let's talk vacation. Remember, when you work for someone else, you have theoretically the ability to take a vacation and take a true vacation. When you work for yourself, you are never on vacation. You might temporarily turn something off, but you also know if you don't answer the emails, if you're not selling, you're not making money. Whatever doesn't get done still falls on you. So vacation is kind of a vacation, but not the same way a vacation would be if you worked for somebody else. And then the last point of comparison, when I said for working for someone else, you don't have to worry about the capital. Well, when you start your own business, whether you're funding it yourself or you're getting your parents to help invest and fund the growth of your company, it's all on you. You are in charge of funding the start of your company or finding the investors, or if you borrow from the bank, it's your credit that's on the line. So those are, I guess, the comparisons of pros and cons working for someone else and yourself. I guess that was really the cons of working for yourself. Let's talk about the benefits. And these are the reasons why I love working for myself. Comparing using the same factors. Number one, it is yours. Whatever you do, whatever kind of work you put in, it's 100% yours. Two, and this is a big factor for me, and it may be for you, you set your schedule. You pick your people. You make the culture. You shape the company entirely. And when I had my jewelry store, so that's like a physical location, I had a way I like to interview all the people who ended up being my salespeople. I would ask certain type of questions. I wanted a certain type of person who wasn't an aggressive salesperson, who was very friendly, because it was very important for me when someone came into the store that they felt they didn't get that salesy, slimy vibe. So I loved being able to shape who worked for me. And I set the rules to, I guess they, what do you call it? Employee manual of how I expected everyone to behave. That sounds harsh, not behave, but the type of person I picked were all really nice, not aggressive people, but were also respectful of the way I wanted the business to run and how I wanted customers who walked in the door to be treated. I loved being able to create that environment. And that was also what was successful about my jewelry stores. So, so that was the thing. You get to create your entire environment. The next part, which is really important for me, as I mentioned, was setting schedule for me, whether it was working for myself, that was when I owned my jewelry store, or even what I do now in the fitness business. The freedom of my schedule is ranked probably top for my lifestyle priorities. I've done it in the past when I work for someone else, and I know I never want to have to follow a schedule that someone else expects of me every single day. It is so important for me to be able to structure my day, my weeks, my months around the way I want to. I still have to do, meet with clients at certain times. I accommodate, but in the end, I dictate how I live my everyday life. And that is more important for me than having a guaranteed steady paycheck. And just because you work for yourself doesn't mean you're going to be going into poverty. You're working towards building something, and you get to a point. I've been doing this long enough. I've been in the fitness business where I do have I know what to expect every month in terms of income. I've gotten to that point of knowing what I need to do, how many people I need to work with to be able to live an enjoyable life. But I'm willing to know that I always have to be working towards keeping and finding clients in order to also have the freedom of schedule that I live in my life. And the other thing in terms of the fitness business, why I enjoy it is I'm a people pleaser. So it does actually give me great joy to work with clients and find ways to service and provide for them what they want and have them be happy. Like that actually is another core value and why I enjoy doing what I do. And I wanted to give you a little history. So when I was a jewelry designer and had my own stores, the kind of business I ran was product based. So I designed, I marketed the product to fashion magazines. I marketed to my neighborhood because I had physical stores, and I grew the physical location business, which was with a physical product based on the quality of the product, the design, and the type of service that was provided to customers that walked into the door. And now in the owning my own fitness business, my business revolves around service rather than a physical products. Actually, it revolves around service and me, my personality, or the way I interact with people. People work with me to work with me, and I'm responsible for being attentive to their needs, for creating a service that they'll value. So I hope this kind of gives you a better picture of whether working for yourself is going to be something that you really want to pursue. And I just wanted to end with knowing that we need to be truthful to ourselves to evaluate what it is that's important for us. So remember, it's not about, oh, you're a good person, bad person, smart or not smart, whether you work for yourself, but what is it that's important for you to make you happy in your everyday life? What kind of lifestyle do you want to live? True, most everyday millionaires, the millionaire next door, are small business owners. Yet there's a cost to get there. And the final question is, what kind of cost is digestible for you? Thanks for listening, and I look forward to chatting with you next week. And don't forget, if you really enjoy this, to make sure you subscribe to the podcast. See you next week.
I'm Coach Tina. For more information about how to work with me, head to ironstrongfitness.com and send me a message. I'll see you next time.